Apologies. Good morning, beloveds. The Terror Twins are being Terror Twins. We're cat sitting. We're cat sitting my friend Lilia's cat, and my friend Lilia's cat is currently underneath the little lounge that I'm sitting on, and the Terror Twins are destroying his the little soft carrier that he came in. That was the wrong toy to throw. Okay, it's already been a wild morning. So the Terror Twins are being Terror Twins. And poor Asterix is underneath the lounge that I am in. Although I did lay eyes on Asterix, and Asterix did eat and use the litter box. And drink a whole lot of water. So Asterix is okay. Yeah. And it was, the soccer kids are back in the park, so there weren't many squirrels. We did see the blue jays briefly, but so yeah. And now Chico's in here, and they're just being brats. They're just being brats. All right. We're going to do the divine forgivingness, and this is a good thing for me today because I'm going to have to forgive the Terror Twins for being Terror Twins. Goodness. All right. Okay. So we're doing living the science of mind. And I just need to get through the housekeeping because, yeah. These boys are just being bad. Okay. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep getting distracted. At this point, I might just have to chunk them out of the room. Seriously. The novelty will wear off in a minute. Okay. Housekeeping. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email is info@creativelife.org. Now, why that constant contact is an email service. Why that is important is because, one, it's a real person doing the email. He does not have time for more than one. Unless something unusual happens, I will point out we do live in hurricane country, and it is hurricane season. Also, the hot links are hot, so if it says click here now, it means it. It'll take you right to the information you want, or the person can help you get it. Now, the last thing that's important is constant contact has a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. So hopefully that'll be worth it to you. I don't know why I'm talking so fast. I just, the calm before the storm here. Now, the last part of the housekeeping is the social media. The social media is simply me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual. Now, hang on. We don't monetize the social media. What that means is we don't ask you to give them money. We don't ask you to give us money through them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we would like is if you would engage with our social media. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment. So with the pages, follow, follow, subscribe based on which platform you're on. If you allow notifications, it'll let you know either when we upload new videos or go live. So if you're interested in that. And then the other part of that is if you, I feel a whole lot better. Still just got the edges of it that need to go away. And then engage with the individual posts. So react to the post, comment on the post, share the post. It bumps us in the algorithms. All right. Let's see if I can get through this reading. It does not bode well for me today. All right. So I've started calling this the FAQ, frequently asked questions. Because I think that's what happened is that people would come to the lectures and they read the textbook and they had questions. And so eventually that he would write answers. And there was that became a take-home course at the back of the Science of Mind magazine, which, if you're interested, it's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It's 6 books. Go to the Science of Mind Archives website, scienceofmindarchives.org. Go to their book section and use their Amazon link. It's going to come from Amazon no matter where, but if you use their link, then they get some of the money. And it's a worthy organization. The director is Kathy, and we went to school together, and she is extremely passionate about the archives. And it's really cool. So, frequently asked questions. So all but 2 of the essays came out of that take-home course, or that at-home course. The other 2 came from the estate. Interestingly enough, they don't tell you which 2. So, okay. So we're going to tackle we did divine givingness yesterday, and so we're going to do divine forgivingness today. Let's see. Oh, it's not that long. It's only 4 pages. All right. The divine forgivingness. Just as there is a principle of divine givingness in the universe, so there is a principle of divine forgivingness. It is self-evident that if such were not the case, we should never be able to transcend the limitations of previous mistakes. It is this ability to transcend previous mistakes which may be described as forgivingness. From the standpoint of a spiritual system of thought, sin belongs to no one. It is merely a mistake operating through someone. Evil of itself is not a person, place, or thing. Jesus forgave people of their sins in order to demonstrate that the creative principle within us is greater than any use we have ever made of it. And also to demonstrate that when we reverse our position in the law, it simultaneously reverses its position towards us. The very nature of the law of cause and effect and the reality of personal volition compel us to see that divine forgivingness is a principle in nature, and that this principle is the essence of love. That is the reason those who have sensed the love of God have also experienced divine forgivingness, and through the alchemy of thought have transmuted the energy of despair into the energy of hope. Thus, they have been reborn. We could make no greater mistake than to suppose this rebirth to have been an illusion. Okay, what? I get twitchy when people talk about being reborn or born again, or he's used the word twice born. But, there is something to it about giving up your previous position and starting anew. So, all right. We should not think of God as conceiving sin or arguing over mistakes. To think of the creative spirit as conceiving sin and mistakes is to think of it both evil and limited. And if evil and limited, then self-destructive. If self-destructive, then you and I could not exist. This is so evident that we do not need to argue the point. It is written, "Thou art pure of purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look upon iniquity." Sin is a mistake, and punishment is a consequence. My favorite description of sin is self-inflicted nonsense. Nothing ever happens to the great law of cause and effect. We use it, when we abuse it, and even when we abuse it, we are still using it. As long as we abuse it, we find undesirable consequences coming to us and may feel that a vindictive spirit is punishing us because of our mistakes. But the law of the universe is not vindictive. When we wish to escape from the wheel of the law which seems ready to crush us, we must deliberately turn away from the mistake. I think that's, when Jesus says turn the other cheek, he's not saying turn the other cheek so that they can hit you on that one. What he's saying is get a new perspective. And that's exactly what he's saying. We have to turn away from the mistake. We have to make a different choice. To all who feel that they are surrounded by a law which must grind them to powder for endless time, this should come as a spiritual shock, thundering at the door of their minds. For they suffer only as deluded people suffer. How can we doubt that the same law which creates can recreate? Do we believe that the artist has stepped into their canvas or that the clay replies to the potter? What? Okay. Let's just follow through on whatever metaphor he's going for here. Because we believe that the Spirit holds something against us, we seek propitiation through burnt offerings, sacrifice, petitions, prayers for redemption from the vast host of fears and doubts which have beset the pathway of most religious systems. We feel that our previous mistakes must be punished in order that God may be happy and that our souls may be saved. Oh, that is just one of the things about religion that just makes me twitch. God doesn't want us to suffer. Our suffering does not make God happy. Rah! Okay. Oh, we may well know this right now. The spirit of humanity is some part of God and cannot be lost. What needs to be saved is a situation and not a principle. When we remember who we are and what we came from, meaning spirit, we make better choices. Yeah, sorry, the voice just hit the table. The nature of the divine forgivingness. Leave asterisks alone. The nature of the divine forgiveness is written into the very constitution of being itself, and the forgiving is simultaneous with our new use of the law. When we stop making the mistake, we are automatically forgiven. Now, I have a note in the margin. I'm curious to see what the margin says. Oh, the best apology is changed behavior. Yep. Okay, so when we stop making the mistake, we are automatically forgiven. The best apology is changed behavior. That is, I've heard that from a variety of therapists, and it makes sense. It's like, I can say I'm sorry all I want, but it doesn't mean anything until I change my behavior, until I stop doing whatever it is I keep having to say I'm sorry for. The best apology is changed behavior. So, when we stop making the mistake, we are automatically forgiven. But of course, we will be punished by a mistake while we continue it. However, let no intelligent person say that because the Spirit knows no sin, that there is no mistake made by human or the individual mind. Okay? We're not walking around with rose-colored glasses. We know that we make mistakes. We know that we misuse the power that we've been granted. The best apology is changed behavior. Okay. The act of enlightenment becomes our part in the divine forgivingness. For the divine forgivingness cannot be complete until we have received the offering of its love, not with fear or morbidity, but in joy. And when we have transcended previous mistakes, they no longer exist, nor is there any effect of them. This means a complete salvation from the sin which was the mistake and the punishment which was the consequence. This particular sequence of cause and effect is now transmuted into something else. This should happen every time a scientific treatment is given. The whole thing is summed up in the thought that, in such a degree as we embody the spirit of love, truth, givingness, etc., we transcend hate and ugliness. We cannot continue in the mistake without continuing in punishment. But the moment the mistake ceases, the punishment stops. Thus, the apostle tells us that the law of the spirit of love makes us free from the law of sin and death. Jesus clearly stated that the child of humanity has power to forgive sins, and to prove his position, he said to the one who was palsied, "Arise, take up thy bed, and go into thine house." He proved his ability to transcend not the law itself, but some particular use, some limited use of the law. He must have been conscious that the man was suffering from an ignorance, and that in some way this ignorance was connected with the belief in condemnation. He removed the sense of condemnation which bound the physical body, and then the physical body could get up and walk. He knew it was an outpicturing of thought. He relieved the tension at its source, removed the sense of separation, for this was that man's sin. All limitation is sin. Okay. But, of course, some mistakes are more vicious than others. Some affect the individual personally, while others affect larger groups. And the law of cause and effect says that every person must suffer while they impose suffering. Only in the concept of the infinite love, transcendent over all human error, does the world find a mental equivalent. Hang on here. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start that sentence over again. Only in the concept of the infinite love transcendent over all human error does the world find a mental equivalent, a spiritual perception adequate to meet its needs. In our system of thought, we in no way belittle this concept. In this thought, we explain it more rationally when we announce that the nature of God is givingness and forgivingness, that the universe holds nothing against us, and that its whole desire is for our well-being. And really, honestly, the universe holds nothing against us. That's kind of, it's a really important point. It's a really important point to understand that the universe holds nothing against us. If we can give up the idea of the great accountant in the sky who's got his book and he's been marking every little thing that we have done wrong, if we can give that up, and that's one of those things. Like, they told me this and I was like, I never could buy that. So I'm fully in on the universe holds nothing against us. Do I make mistakes? Yes. Am I punished by my mistakes? Yes. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. I make mistakes. But I have never believed that the universe has held it against me. I have never believed that the universe or God is out to get me for the mistakes that I have made. I'm being punished by my own mistakes. I brought this on myself. Now, not all suffering is brought on by ourselves, because you heard him say it, that our sins can affect larger groups. Our mistakes can hurt other people. Yeah. And there's a lot of that going on. And so it's up to us to understand this is not God punishing us. This is people making choices out of either ignorance or willful ignorance. And everybody is going to be punished until we come to the realization we can make a different choice. Everybody can make a different choice. The universe is not holding anything against us. We're doing it to ourselves. Okay. I do understand about the relationships, and so does Ernest. That's why he said our sins can affect larger groups of people. All right. The universe holds nothing against us, and that its whole desire is for our well-being. Ignorance of the law excuses no one. The race labors under the sense of condemnation, handed down from generation to generation and operating through the consciousness of most people. Thus, the sense of sin is both individual and collective. And that's one of those things. You know what? It is there's a whole lot of stuff that is going on collectively. And there's just got to be enough of us to tip that balance. Many individuals have been burdened with the sense of race condemnation. Some of them have been fanatics. Some have been fine. Outstanding, intelligent people. Many of them have done much good. Some have done great harm. It is not for us to judge, nor should we permit ourselves to be judged. Our judgment must be the criterion of reason, the evidence of intelligence, the logic of sequence built upon the knowledge that we are living in a universe of law and order, a universe which makes sense, and a universe out of which we can make sense. Each of us exists in direct relationship to this cosmic whole. In the long run, there is no law but that set by one's own soul, since each one individualizes the universal law of cause and effect. If we have been sinners, we can become saviors, and the first thing we should do is save our own thought. I'm sorry, I love that phrase. If we have been sinners, we can become saviors, and the first thing we should save is our own thought. Really, honestly, the only person you can save is yourself. That's it. But the good news is if you save yourself, you move through the world differently. People come to you and go, hey, what do you know that I don't know? And then they learn to save themselves. We should elevate our lives upon the cross of divine unity, and there, where the winds of God blow free, we should permit the soul to be purified. That's an image. The divine givingness and the divine forgivingness, which are eternal in the nature of reality, should be accepted. Thus, the action of the law, as it has stood, will be transmuted from bondage into freedom. This should be done consciously, definitely, scientifically, through the direct reversal of thought, and it should be considered a definite part of every treatment which we give. Ugh. If you walk away from this with anything, when we stop making the mistake, we are automatically forgiven. All limitation is sin. The universe holds nothing against us. And the first thing we should save is our own thought. And then, like I said, the best apology is change behavior. All right, we're getting close to the end of this. Tomorrow, we will pick up with our need for forgiveness. Be interesting to see where that's going to go. All right, now I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. A let's kick this, whatever is going on, the rest of the way out of our sinuses day. A cuddle our fur babies day, a tell somebody you love them day, a do something amazing for yourself day, a take a break and rest day. That is what I'm going to do. Catch up on some sleep day. A you got this day, a go enjoy the sunshine day, a drink plenty of water day, a stay out of the heat day. I'm not sure where the heat's going to get today, but be aware. I guess I'm out of words day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, I do understand, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. Very important part of that statement there. At your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. So explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. It's all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. The Herdens have left the room. So I'm going to give Asterix a chance to decide if she's going to come out. Take care of yourself. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 8:45 tomorrow because I go to the gym. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.